Welcome back to Rune Factory 4. For this part, we're going to be introducing ourselves to all the people of the town, even though we already did that, apparently.
Friends!
So between the last Let's Play and this one, Travis got a new preamp, and it comes with an echo.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm just actually stuck in a well.
Don't you mean a monster barn?
A monster barn! I got out of the well.
Good. Did you get your armor back?
Oh shit, let me get back down there. Okay, now we're good.
If only put in a splash, it actually sounded like you fell in there.
I did it!
It's a deep well.
Another bachelor.
So overabundance of bachelors. Where are the bachelorettes?
For some reason, he's terrified of me.
Now that's the kind of guy I like.
So this is Doug. Apparently he's a dwarf. But in Rune Factory, dwarves don't look like fantasy dwarves. They're just normal people with pointy ears.
I would kind of like if they had both. Like maybe this is just a young dwarf.
Therefore, he's taller.
They shrink, they get stout, and they get really burly faces. Like, you only have two options. Doug and,
Duh. He doesn't even do the stereotypical dwarf things. He works at the general store.
See ya.
Also, he turns his back on us a lot.
He's barely a dwarf. He looks more like an elf to me.
Yeah. Finally, bachelorette. Are you ready for cheesecake?
I like cheesecake. What the fuck?
Did you like it, Travis?
I wasn't ready for that hot dog bun.
This is Xiao Pai. She's got a couple of gimmicks to her. One, she's very clumsy, because there needs to be that character. She's actually one of two. But she grew up in a foreign land, so her grasp of English is a little weird, so she has a strange syntax.
Is she apologetic?
Not really.
So she's clumsy and just goes, welp.
She is kind of weird. In a pretty amusing way, because here, Pubert's just trying to say, I'm trying to remember your name. She's like, oh yeah, I guess I didn't tell you. And then she never tells me.
Well, okay.
The other clumsy character is her mom, Lin Fa.
Okay.
Still didn't tell me your name.
Any moment now.
Nope.
No. Oh, there you go. Oh, I didn't? Well, fuck you.
Oh, he's not here. There's an amazing character who runs the restaurant.
Morning.
I thought you were gonna talk to the piano for a minute.
I can't examine it. I probably should have looked in the ferns, because around town, there will be things hidden in, like, bushes and what have you. And I feel like there were things hidden there that, for some reason, I lost now.
Look at this generic motherfucker. I am anime character.
This is Keel. He's the younger brother of one of the bachelorettes. His older sister is actually the guard of the town. The Dragon Guard, or Dragon Knight.
I like the sound of that already.
Yeah, she's my personal favorite of the bachelorettes. Keel, in turn, he's actually supposed to be the Dragon Knight himself, but he's just sort of a bookworm. Not really a fighter. He's alright though, I don't dislike him.
It's Keel and P.
Yep.
He also really looks like 12.
Yeah, he really looks like the kid in the group.
Wait till we see a later bachelorette.
Oh, well, of course. that's like either sarcastic laughing or about to sob.
Here's Linfa.
How can I date the adult one?
Well, she has an excuse in that she is married.
Ah.
We just only ever meet her husband in like one cutscene way late in the game. He just looks like a generic character. Doesn't even have his own portrait.
What? They just cut out his face. Just a stick figure.
Weird thing about Linfa, if you look at her character model and her character art, she seems to have Medusa hair.
Good morning.
What the hell? This nice lady did a twirl for me. This is Margaret, another bachelorette. She's an elf.
Hello.
With one of the most elaborate, strange, but sort of awesome outfits I've ever seen.
How is it?
She's wearing pantyhose and stockings. She must be warm as fuck.
Protects her legs from ticks. Ellen Margaret's positive. I like her already.
Not that you'd call me anything else, like Meg, like all the other characters call me.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out pretty much every character is weird.
Oh, she's a worrywart.
There's a later scene with her which really makes me laugh. Here's Botto. He's also a dwarf, and he's huge. He's kind of an ass, though. I like him.
What's the distinction then? Because elves and dwarves both have the pointy ear thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's because like his and Doug's skin tones are a little darker.
I just like this idea. It's like, we need to put dwarves in our game, but we're from Japan and we can't make ugly characters. You're right. They better look like handsome anime boys.
And he is a blacksmith, so... Botto is extremely lazy. He's always looking for ways to make money really easily. And he's almost willing to swindle people in order to get it, but he can't really go through with it. So, like, as soon as he's saying, I could give you memory recovery medicine, he backs up. It's like, it doesn't actually do that, but you can buy it. Sorry. He also sounds like a dip.
You still look sleepy.
Here she is, Forte.
Hello.
This is Keel's older sister.
Again, why can't we date this one?
No, we can.
Oh. Give us an anime intro.
Yeah, we actually don't get her intro at this point. Forte's deal is she has to hide her girliness. She's actually very girly, but she's got a lot to prove because the people who have her as a Dragon Knight don't want her as a Dragon Knight, they want Keel.
We love defending our city with an 8-year-old.
I'm sorry.
So she's trying to remain strong and tough, but she secretly loves sweets. But she'll desperately try to cover up that she likes it when you give it to her. Another thing I like about her, she's wearing actual fucking armor. Granted, her helmet is shit, but...
I was about to say that helmet's terrible, but...
she's actually wearing proper body armor, protecting her body where it's supposed to be. Yeah, the Dragon Knights are supposed to technically guard Ventuswil, but Ventuswil doesn't go anywhere. She doesn't really need protecting, so instead Forte just guards the town.
From what?
There are monsters.
Ah.
You notice the side there where it says LNR BTW. In fact, press that, your character will say, by the way, and then you can ask someone to come along with you to go off adventuring. Forte is the only character who, at the start of the game, she will go along with you because it's her duty to guard the town. She will guard you as well. Other characters, you need to be better friends with them first.
And you build that friendship gauge by talking to them and doing favors for them, I guess?
Yep. Same as Harvest Moon. Here she's straight up saying, I don't like sweets, and I'm not afraid of ghosts. And that's like her core personality traits.
That's very specific, ma'am.
Good morning.
Here's the doctor, Jones.
It's funny, here's the doctor, just here, yeah. It's like this lazy voice. I guess I'm a doctor. It's hard to forget a name like that.
Yes.
He somehow tore off his sleeves, but he never got the Vice inspiration to buckle them.
Because Vice is not there to do it. See, you make fun of the ripped sleeves with a buckle, but you know what's dumber? A ripped sleeves with nothing. Japan has some very strange logic when it comes to fantasy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Here's Jones' wife, Nancy.
Dang. You did good.
Yes.
Do you wear nurses' hats everywhere? Everywhere.
Everywhere. Jones always wears his doctor's coat, and his stethoscope, and the little light on his head. Nancy always wears her nurse cap.
Everywhere.
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 I like her little half coat there.
It's not gonna be difficult to put on.
Ma'am, I'd be surprised if you're 20.
The town's life expectancy must be like 23. Because nobody's old.
Unfortunately, at the start, we can only take 1 request a day. And the max that we can get is 3 a day.
This looks like a completely different house.
Here's the flower shop with Illuminata. Earlier when we did the meet and greet with everyone, she was the one who danced around us and examined us.
Hey, I like Illuminata. I like her design.
There's nothing a great detective can't do.
Ooh, I like her a lot.
Her stick, she's the grand detective
Of
who
course.
doesn't detect shit.
I like her.
She's kind of an asshat, but she's fun. She does do one thing later that makes me not like her.
Yes.
Weird that a grand detective runs a flower shop, but I guess you need a front.
Despite announcing you're a great detective.
Welcome.
I can buy seeds right now.
And nutrients?
Yes. Nutrients are things that make growing crops easier. So, like, the formulas will increase the speed the crops grow. There's Giantizer, which, if we throw that on a 2x2 square of the same crop, the crops will grow big, and if you keep watering them, they'll merge together to make one giant crop.
Well,
Ooh.
come again.
Then there's also things like no rot. I'm not entirely sure how useful that is, because if you just water a crop that's wilting, it'll go back to normal. But we'll be seeing all of the nutrients in due time. Pretty much every one of them is useful.
Oh my god. There's someone old in the town. Get her out, she's obviously a witch.
It's Granny Blossom. She runs a general store. Yeah, you know, the one you're in.
General store? Looks around, oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
It's around the general store that we get our primary crops.
Welcome.
Including chocolate.
Yeah. Little weird that there's a general store where we get crops and a flower shop where we also get seeds, but just for flowers. But I guess we can't have them together.
Please come again.
This gives an excuse to add more characters.
I guess. Dun 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 dun, goodbye.
I had a fun see it. Yeah, these skills are great!
I believe the skill that I'm increasing there is either the farming skill, which is sort of all-encompassing, using the hoe, using the water pot, and what have you. Or it could be increasing my elemental skill, because as I use the water pot, that will increase my water skill, because there are some water magics in the game. And I think using the hoe might increase my earth stat. Not entirely sure, though. Even though I'm sure someone has written down exactly that somewhere. And I could look it up, but for some reason I haven't found it yet.
At some point I'm sure I'll understand what that means.
Yeah.
Someday.
It all relates to the magic spells you can get in the game. Quick little aside, there are these telescopes around town. When you look in them, it'll actually reference previous rune factories, which I like. We have a magic spell right now. If you notice, in the bottom screen, in the bottom left, that little ball of light, that's the escape spell. If I use that, it'll take me back to my house. If I'm out on the overworld, it'll take me back to a designated spot, which is considered the starting spot of that area. And if I keep pressing it, eventually it'll take me back to Selphia.
It's just like Margaret just leaps at you.
Yeah. This is a good example of why I like Margaret, because she's very strange.
I appreciate her quirkiness.
She's very good with sounds, therefore she pinches my nipple or something.
Shoots you in the leg with a gun.
Eventually down the line I'll be able to use the airship as fast travel, but not right now, not that I have anywhere to go yet. Here he is.
I am Porcaline de Saint Coquille.
Oh, wow.
Meet Porcaline.
I love this over-the-top entrance. Hi, I'm Hubert.
I am Porcaline de Saint
Porcaline.
Porcaline de Blé.
He runs the restaurant. He's sort of Margaret's surrogate dad. All Margaret does... Well, there she just looks lost. But usually what she'll do is perform music for Porcaline's restaurant.
Oh. Yes.
Porcaline's a funny character, obviously, since he's fat, therefore he eats everything.
Of course.
I didn't show it, but you can press a button to close the dialogue box and just see the character model art. Porcaline's pants are just stuffed with food. He's a remarkably generous man.
No.
He provides a home for at least 2 characters, including Arthur here. He gave Arthur this side office he wasn't using, and this is where Arthur hangs out and does his work. Unfortunately, Arthur's work is useless. Talking to Arthur allows us to check the harvest report. That tells us what crops that specific week would be a bumper crop. That means I would just get a bunch more that week, arbitrarily. Unfortunately, this is glitched in the game and they never fixed it. If you look at the harvest report, it will only tell you what will work that specific day, and it'll tell you what will work the next week, but it only tells you what is working this week.
Oh,
And they never fixed it.
that sucks.
So much. Well.
So for example, this week, I can do those, and next week, same thing. Never fixed it. When you look around someone's room and they happen to be there, they might comment on it as well. Now, for some reason, I can't get the spectacles yet.
You try to put on your face, you just break them immediately. Can't put them on!
The spectacles are an equipable item. Maybe the game just requires me to get the storage for clothing. even though I can store other items in a storage box later. Including spectacles that I can forge myself, but I don't know.
This is dumb.
Maybe he just simply won't let me take it.
What the hell?
That was escape.
That was lazy, because couldn't you just go down?
Sometimes it's faster. Here's where we get the cutscene for Forte. Where do you think you're going? Forte's pretty badass.
Monsters? What are those?
Yes.
Forte's a good character to bring along early on in the game, because she's stupid strong. And she comes with a healing spell.
I'm assuming that the elf girl's a bit like a bard, like has like healing magic and music stuff.
Yeah.
You just pat them on the head and tell them shame on them.
Now, in Ni no Kuni, this was just a cop-out. When you kill a monster, the game was like, you don't actually kill them. You just send them somewhere else.
To the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm. In this game, it's the Forest of Beginnings. At the very least, though, in Rune Factory 4, the Forest of Beginnings is a recurring plot element, so it's not a complete cop-out. We will eventually be going to the Forest of Beginnings ourselves.
The Ni no Kuni version felt a little bit like that Dragon Ball Z edit where, like, that one guy's blowing up all those planes, and then it cuts to one of the characters off shot and goes, "Look at all those pilots escaping!"
Ooh, a claymore.
This might be a little big for me.
There are different types of weapons. I've been starting out with a broadsword, which, despite its name, is considered a short sword. But the claymore is a long sword, which does more damage but takes longer to swing. Every weapon has a stat related to it you can level up, and as you level it up, you'll get new attacks for it, like a charge attack or a dash attack.
You know,
Where did you keep this giant-ass sword?
Well, I haven't fought yet.
Eh.
Okay, she's basically just letting me set the difficulty of the game now. I'm gonna have it set to normal for now. There's a basement in the castle where I can change it at will.
Please help me. Do you build rapport with characters when you fight with them?
Yes, you do. And you increase a leadership stat. A stat for everything. I was not lying.
It's a little ridiculous. A little bit.
Little bit. But it all adds up. Soon you become stupid strong.
This game does have a lot of tutorials.
Mm-hmm. So that block of brown is supposed to be bread.
Why did you cut the corners off, but only on two sides?
Maybe they just bit the bullet and got rid of those ends. Because you never eat them at the start, you only eat them after you've finished the rest of the loaf.
goodbye.
So that,
Okay, see ya.
we'll be going off and fighting in the next part. I put the bread away because I assumed that I would be able to utilize something of an exploit in this game, in that once you get the oven and are able to convert flour into bread and bread into toast, you've sort of won the game. But the oven ends up being remarkably expensive, so I don't get that for a while.
No. Oh well. At least is the tutorial part nearly done?
The big chunk of it. After this point, the tutorial will be limited to the requests that we do at the start of every day. There is a little bit of railroading. We are able to go out into the world, fight monsters, explore, but every new thing we can do unlocks at a pretty steady pace.
I mean, it is a lot to learn either way. I felt like if they actually had an example-based way versus people just telling you what to do and giving you things, it probably would have been a little more effective.
Well, we'll be seeing how that works for some of the other elements later on, because a lot of it is predicated on you actually going out and doing the thing for the tutorial.
Okay, that's good. Looks interesting thus far, though. Looks like a mix of like Harvest Moon and like an actual combat RPG. It reminds me a little bit of Dark Cloud.
A little bit. One kind of sad thing, though, there have been a couple of screenshot LPs of the various Rune Factory games. They really haven't changed much. The mechanics, the sprites, literally unchanged. Character models are all different, but the monsters are basically the same. It's more just sort of the layout and I guess how the game progresses that they changed. But that does mean that Rune Factory 4, I guess you can consider all of the rough edges that the games have had up to this point have been shaved off for the most part. Now it's probably as good as the series could get up to this point.
Well, that's good. I guess it just means that the next one might be quite a redesign, if they ever make another one.
People love this game. I love this game.
Now it is time for our main character to enter Blight Town. Actually, Farm Town.
Not Farmville.
Not that.
Ew, ew, ew.